Welcome to the Above Average podcast. Just a note to say, if you're hearing this, you're listening to the public version of our members podcast. To access full episodes, you can do so at our Patreon page, where you'll find a private RSS feed for your favourite podcast app and other exclusive content. We don't have ads or sponsors on the podcast, and that is made possible entirely by the support of our members. So if you like what we're doing here, please consider joining them. And now, the podcast. Welcome to the Above Average podcast with me, Mark Lewis.
And me, Jen Lewis.
And this is the Ask Jen Anything episode. Okay, so the Ask Jen Anything is pretty straightforward. We asked you guys if you had any questions for Jen, and you said yes. And I have them here. So we're going to fly through them, and Jen's going to answer them, aren't you? Are you ready?
Well, attempt to.
Okay, and Jen is fueled on chocolate. I'm going to put a picture up, actually.
And pancake.
If you are watching, you say that. If you're watching the video, you're now going to be seeing a picture of Jen's inverted commas pancake, which is 98% chocolate. If you listen to the podcast or there is no video, just imagine a pancake. Well, imagine a pancake covered in chocolate. I mean, it's as easy as that, isn't it, really? I might stick it on Instagram just as an example of how much chocolate you eat. And my point is, Jen has high levels of energy, or she should do.
I'm a runner these days.
Yeah.
I need energy.
Yeah, you're not running to the moon. Okay, we're going to dive straight in. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Question number 1 from Joe. How many rest days do you have per week on average, and what do those look like? Let's do how many first. How many days a week do you actually just started a new training program, haven't you? So what does it look like?
So it's 5 days running and then 2 days rest day. But on a couple of those running days, I'm going to fit in some weights as well.
This is a, what is it? This is a Training Peaks.
Training Peaks run 50K program.
You're right. So you're doing a Training Peaks running 50K, which lasts
18 weeks, takes us up to the run in July, which is a 50K.
Perfect. So you've got an 18-week plan to run 50K in 18 weeks' time, and it gives you 5 days running, 2 days off.
Yes.
And some of your running days you're going to be doing weights as well.
Yeah, it doesn't have any weights in the program, but I feel I should still do some weights given I've still got high rocks to do.
You should. Why running programs skip weight training is beyond me. Okay, what does it look like? What does a day off look like? Well, I can tell you that. It looks like eating chocolate.
No, it doesn't. It looks like pretty much any other day, but I just don't go for my run or go to the gym. I still walk the dogs. I normally go for a longer walk with the dogs because I'm not doing anything else. I normally tie it in with my housework day, so I do all my hoovering of the house, so a little bit of active rest.
Hoovering. We are incredibly lucky, privileged, I guess would be the modern term, wouldn't it? That when we have a rest day, we just do what we like.
Oh, I thought you were going with the fact that your wife does all the hoovering.
Well, I'm additionally privileged in that when I do what I like, it doesn't include hoovering. Yeah, good point. Okay, question 2 from Jonathan. Will you be doing any heart rate? This is interesting. Will you be doing any heart rate zone training for your distance events?
I think pretty much all of my Training Peaks program is
Absolutely.
Zone training. In fact, I went for my first one on Monday, and it even flashes up on my watch. And maybe Mark can put a screenshot of it up on the video of where my heart rate should be, and it tells me if I'm in or out of it.
Actually, I'm quite jealous because having just dropped a video on how I'm still using the Apple nearly all the time, although not today. I've gone Arnie today. Just showing everyone watching at home my Arnie homage watch. Having said I still use the Apple mostly, what your Garmin does that the Apple can't do, because somebody asked about this the other day on YouTube and I said it can't do it, the Garmin receives your Training Peaks program in the morning. So when you wake up and you hear it going for a run, it pops up and says, do you want to do the workout that I've been sent by Training Peaks? And then you say yes, and you just follow it. I mean, it's
and it's all based on zones.
Yeah, it's all based on zones, which is important.
Are you saying that you can't actually link up Training Peaks to an Apple Watch? Currently.
I can send data from so I can send the workout I've done on the Apple Watch to Training Peaks. So Training Peaks records it, but what I can't do is what you do, which is have the information come from Training Peaks to the device. I don't think. In fact, if anything was to make me wear my Garmin more often, it would be running a Training Peaks program. because I really like that. Okay, so there you go. That's what you're doing. Lots of heart rate training. Michael says, any sport or sports that you want to try that you've never attempted?
Oh, loads. Just to have a go at them.
Like what?
I want to have a go at boxing.
Good grief.
But I just don't think I've got the ability to take a punch to the face.
Well, that might hamper your ability to box.
Although it might make me really good at it because I'll be really dodging. I'll be quick.
So
nimble.
you want to have a go at dodging boxers, basically?
Yeah, that.
Okay. Well, you do realize that we can get you in a boxing ring. I mean, again, let's go back to YouTube privilege. I can get you in a boxing ring tomorrow.
I know, but I feel like I should go to some boxing classes.
Yeah, they can do that. Actually, some guys were talking to us. Some guys that invented a boxing kind of thing. I think you wear it on your hands and it kind of measures your punches. There's some kind of wacky boxing tech thing
cool.
that they're talking to me, so I can get you to go and do that instead. Because
Yeah,
I
so
don't
just-
want to get punched in the face either, so I can just send you along.
Anything like that, some martial arts types of things. Anything. Well, once I've kind of got better at my flexibility, because I feel lots of martial arts probably rely on flexibility, and I have none currently. But once I've got better at that through my yoga and Pilates that I plan to do, I'd like to have a go at some more martial arts type stuff.
So you're going to do yoga and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You're going to go full Rogan.
Yeah, what's the one that Rogan says is the one that you should do?
Yeah, that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, lots of...
Does that mean we get to go to Brazil?
I don't think so. I think typically the trainers are trained in the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't think you have to go there to do it.
Make a good video, though.
Pretty certain of that. It would make a good video.
Oh, and I also want to have a go at horse riding, but I'm not sure if that's a sport or not.
I suppose, well, yeah, horse. I don't know. Actually, for a vegan, do you want to sit on a horse? Seems a bit mean.
I don't want to race a horse. I just...
Okay, just want to pet it, and you're certainly not going to eat it afterwards.
No.
Yeah, the jiu-jitsu thing. I'm actually interested in jiu-jitsu as well. I'll tell you who does jiu-jitsu. I was watching the other day, Russell Brand.
Okay.
As an example of someone you wouldn't think looked like a kind of powerhouse of martial arts skills. I'm not sure he is a powerhouse of martial arts skills, but he does do Brazilian. It's hard to say. Brazil. That's why they say BJJ, isn't it?
Okay, I was going to say you are making a meal out of it.
As opposed to the horse, which would never be a meal because we're vegan. Yeah, we're now going to get lots of people saying, I do BJJ, and come and do it with me.
Hopefully.
Would you go gi or no gi?
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that means either, but I hear them
Also
say it a lot.
cage fighting,
It's something to
'cause
do with
that just
the
looks fun.
clothes you wear. I think it's called a gi. I'm coming back to your cage fighting comment. The clothing you wear is called a gi, and there's like gi or no gi. I don't know what
Well,
that
sorry,
means.
in the sense that some people just go naked.
Yeah, it's a good question. See, I did judo, and you wore kind of a thing for judo. And
Well, it's like that white
yeah, that's what I wore.
onesie with a belt around it.
It's not a onesie. It's like a jacket. And
Is
let's
it
move
not?
on.
Okay.
Cage fighting? No, you don't want to do cage
Oh,
fighting.
come on, that looks fun. That kind of seems like there's no rules. You just can't get in a cage and fight to the death.
Okay, I don't know what you've been watching the cage fighting. It's not Thunderdome. Okay, right. Alex says, what's the most embarrassing thing Mark has done while you've been with him? We should probably limit this to a sort of sporting kind of fitness context.
Okay. That's...
What does that narrow your options? What would you have said otherwise?
Oh, I don't know. I've had
Okay,
to...
I'm broadening it out. But the most embarrassing thing, I don't think I've done anything embarrassing, have I?
No. Well, clearly you've done things that are embarrassing. Everyone's done things
Well, yes,
that
but
are
if they're not
embarrassing.
particularly embarrassing, picking the most embarrassing things can be quite hard.
No, and it's just a stupid thing. So I'm terrible at, as you guys probably know from listening to podcasts, at pronouncing my words. So I get very excited when Mark does something wrong and it comes out wrong.
That is an issue.
That's probably my
Yeah.
favourite thing that he does that's embarrassing because I do it all the time and he rarely does it. So I relish when he does.
The trouble is, the things I do are so minor in comparison, and you get so excited
do.
about them. I'll give you a good example. This is George, one of my kids, who has just a succession of stupid failures within his life. He still talks about with relish the day that I tripped over a twig walking through a wood like 5 years ago.
He literally breaks
Because
down and
he does, because in
Yes.
comparison, it's the only thing I've ever done that he found mildly silly.
It was quite funny.
But compared to him, like if I was to start reeling off the silly things he's done, I mean, I'd write a book.
You did roll down the hill. You kind of did a forward. It was funny.
Hardly. And the same for you. So I don't really do anything embarrassing. So when I, mispronounce a word like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you can't get all excited. And yet there's you, can't say cat or dog half the time. Well, this is a good one. So just to clarify on that one, there's nothing embarrassing I've ever done, is there really?
Clearly there are.
Well, you couldn't think of anything.
Well, I just don't think to remember them.
Okay. I used to have a book. I used to write down the daft things Jen did because there were so many I couldn't keep track. And then we would have like Christmas family things I'd want to tell everyone and I couldn't remember them.
Normally it was quotes that I
like
got
writing
wrong
down.
or people mistaken for other people.
Okay, this is a good one. In fact, here's the question. This is from Heath. What a good name as well, Heath. I imagine Heath has flowing locks that they toss. That's kind of,
You're picturing like a prince out of like a Disney film.
I'm just thinking quite posh.
Like a made in Chelsea type person.
I think Heath has, they don't because I can see it here, but they should have a double-barreled name like Heath Montgomery Clifton or something.
I feel like this is going to be one of those times, but maybe not. Is Heath the same as like Heath Ledger? Or is his name Keith Ledger?
There you go. Okay, that's perfect. I love it when you literally, because if anybody was just thinking, what's Mark talking about? Jen making daft comments, and Jen isn't sure whether Heath Ledger was actually called Keith Ledger. He was. From now on, Keith.
I picture him. So yeah, locks, because I'm picturing him from A Knight's Tale or 10 Things I Hear About You, where he's got the curly.
Yeah, that's a Keith Ledger, famous deceased actor. Anyway, where are we going? Yeah, right, here's a question from Heath. That's an H for anyone. If you could choose a tattoo for Mark to wear, do you wear a tattoo? To have. I'm going to rephrase Heath's comment. A tattoo for Mark to have. Where would it be? No, sorry, what would it be? And where would it go on his body? So,
Well, I think we already know what that's going to be.
Okay, keep it clean. Where?
Clearly it's clean. It's Nixon on your calf.
Yeah, well, sort of, but I want that anyway. I want to get a
really
photorealistic picture of Nixon on my calf. I'm tempted to do it in time for High Rocks, New York.
Oh, but then I can get mine. But also,
anyway, go back to what. So can't have Nixon because I want that anyway. So that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so if it wasn't Nixon on your calf, I'd go with lyrics again from a different song. I'd probably have the lyrics that started off on me and then like ended with you on you.
I love it. I'll tell you what we need. This is the most Instagram vomit-inducing nonsense ever. We need them in such a way that when we link arms in some sort of
okay, but I wouldn't have mine on my own.
Nice whatever. Okay. When we position ourselves anatomically correctly next to each other,
I don't think that needs to happen.
It kind of spells out. But then when we're apart, it doesn't.
Or I'd have the lyrics and you'd have the picture because that would be a stupid picture on you. I'm going with the Werewolves of London, obviously.
Okay, so basically, to answer the question, Jen wants lyrics from Werewolves of London on me. What are the lyrics going to be?
Well, I'd probably go with the "His hair is perfect" line, and yours.
What a great answer for Heath, because Heath probably has perfect hair.
And your picture on you would be a werewolf with perfect hair holding a pina colada.
Okay, from Trader Vic's.
Yeah.
Okay, from Gil. Morning, Jen. What's the best dairy substitute you found? I love milk in my coffee and Greek yogurt and haven't come across a good cheese vegan substitute. Can I just dive in first? What was the amazing yogurt thing, which I don't have at the moment because I'm on a bit of a calorie deficit, but you got a yogurt thing, didn't you? That was like really thick, creamy Greek yogurt. What the heck was that?
What, the one with the different flavour in the middle?
No. Was it Oatly? Was it an Oatly yogurt maybe?
Oatly do a good yogurt.
I had an Oatly yogurt and it was so thick and creamy. So anyway, there's a dairy substitute. So yeah, over to you. Dairy substitute.
So I want to go with oat milk or oat anything substitute rather than soy or whatever, almond, whatever the other ones I can get. I always go for Oatly.
We drink a lot of Oatly milk, don't we?
Yeah, and if you are doing milk in coffee, if you just get the standard oat milk, it's terrible. Always go for the barista edition because that's nice and creamy and it makes actually your coffee look like coffee. So always go for the barista edition of any milk. As for Greek yogurt, I find that quite hard. Like Mark said, he's found one. I used to eat Greek yogurt beforehand, but I haven't really touched it since being vegan. And for cheese, just really, really hard. I use a company called I'm Nut Okay for this kind of like dried version of like Parmesan sprinkles that you
Which is made from nuts, isn't it? To explain
cashews.
the name of the company.
Yeah, it's called I'm Nut. Yeah, Nut Okay. They do a few good cheeses, but their best one I think is the Parmesan sprinkles that you put on like a bolognese. Picture like the cheap and cheerful Parmesan sprinklings that you get in a tub from anywhere. It's like that, but dairy-free. And then the only other good cheese that I found is a camembert one, which is by Nourish.
Don't know. I don't like. I should add.
Which is nice.
I went cold turkey on cheese.
It tastes like a baked camembert.
Yeah, I don't believe that though.
You had it.
I know.
You liked it.
I liked it relative to
any other vegan cheese.
Yeah, but the bar is so low. To be honest, I just don't eat vegan cheese.
And if you're looking for a good pizza with cheese, I think currently the Pizza Express do the best one.
I agree with that. But yeah, Oatly milk. We go through a lot of Oatly milk. I have chocolate. You have barista.
Barista in coffee, and I use the chocolate for my pancakes.
Yeah, because
they need more chocolate.
Like those pancakes need more chocolate. Okay. But yeah, I tell everyone, just cheese, forget it. Just stop hunting. Just give up.
I hunt all day, all night. Whenever we go out for a meal, I'm looking for bear.
You are on a permanent cheese mission, yeah. Okay, Jen, this is from Michael. If you hadn't married Mark, and what a sad state of affairs that would be.
My God.
Do you think you'd be into fitness in such a big way? No. Next question.
Hang on, probably no, but I think I would still be into it somewhat because I think there would always be that pressure to still look okay. So I think.
Okay, but hang on a second. When I met you, you felt a pressure to look okay.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I just wouldn't eat as much.
You didn't do any exercise at all.
Yeah, maybe I just wouldn't have. I would just use my diet better instead.
I'll tell you what would have happened. You would have, because when I met you, you were what? How old are you? 25. So you had age on your side. You're now, in fact,
34 on Sunday.
You're 34 on Sunday. So you're almost 35. So I think what would have happened is in those last 10 years, you would have realised that, yeah, you no longer had age on your side and you had to do something about it. But not being married to someone that knew anything about it, you wouldn't know what to do, and you'd just be
cardio.
You'd be going out of shape rapidly and miserable.
I just do cardio.
That's my assessment. You'd be miserable, basically. Cardio. You didn't know what cardio was when I met you. You thought cardio was just getting your biscuits out of your office drawer faster than normal.
My point is when women feel that they're putting on weight and feel need to do something about it, they normally turn to cardio.
And then
so
get
I'd
skinny
imagine
fat.
I would have done the same.
I'll tell you what, that's a good example actually. You would, but yeah, you would do that. You'd start running, you wouldn't go near a gym and you'd become skinny fat.
Well, I was already skinny fat.
You'd become more skinny fat. Okay. In summary, wow, I've rescued you.
Well, obviously, how would this question not come back to Mark being so amazing?
Indeed. Thank you for asking that, Michael. Okay, next one. Simon says, see what I did there? Simon says...
I bet he hasn't heard that so many times before.
Wow, not on this podcast, he hasn't. He says, whilst we heard you are going for more traditional cardio-based training, you are doing lots of running cardio training, yes, and possibly a 6-week challenge. Yeah,
I think that's on the flexibility I'm trying
to... we're doing a... Yeah, exactly. Have you previously done those sort of yo-yo fads for aesthetics over actual training?
I think I've always thought about doing them, but I've never actually stuck with them. So where you see 100 squats in 100 days and never, ever, ever got any further than
it's
that.
Actually, it's a good question.
And I've never done one since being with you because obviously Mr. Perfect over there has helped me be so better.
You thought about doing exercise challenges before meeting me?
Yeah, I can remember my friends doing the 100 squats a day challenge, and I'd be thinking, "Ooh, okay," and that would be as far as it went.
Really?
because I realised I couldn't squat.
Good grief. That's a fast challenge.
Or push-ups, I realised I couldn't do that. So it's, never really
Your
done
video
them.
would be called, I did 100 squats in 100 days, and here's what happened. Day 1, couldn't squat. Day 2, stop challenge.
The only thing I have done, I'm not sure
Please like and subscribe.
I'm not sure if it's a fad or not, but when I first met you, you got me on the couch to 5K. So is that
That's not fad. And now you're running an ultra
I
marathon.
know. I'm just saying that's the only other like programmy thing I've followed before.
Couch to 5K is
It's good.
the opposite of a fad. Actually, it's an interesting one because there are obviously huge opportunities opportunities is the wrong word. There is the opportunity to do those sort of things for YouTube because YouTube is full of that sort of stuff. And YouTube does like transformations. If you have a video or a thumbnail where you look something in one picture and something else in another picture, YouTube algorithm loves that.
I know. Like, hopefully in my flexibility one, if I can't touch my toes in the first video. And
exactly. We are going to do a flexibility one, because I'm also equally inflexible. And so, that's a good example of it. But doing it for a kind of a physical transformation is a tricky one because it's not a very good way to train.
No.
So even when I do go through quick transformations, for example, at the moment I'm going through quite a quick transformation in terms of losing weight. But I don't like to kind of do too much on it because it's particular to me. Would anybody else want to eat with a sort of, in my diet at the moment, it's so boring?
I know I was going to say, actually, talking about fast, because touching the exercise part, I've never done a fad diet.
No.
I did fasting. I did intermittent fasting.
Actually, what you did that diet where you eat chocolate all the time and you just never stopped.
I did try fasting for 2 days in a row once with you, and I failed dramatically at it.
Yeah.
I got hungry.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it 2 days.
In fact, I think Mark just got annoyed that I was so angry because I was so hungry. He was just like, just eat.
Okay, next one. Okay, carrying on with food. Jason says, what's your favourite cheat meal?
Oh, there's so many.
You need to keep this one quick because we'll be here all day with this one otherwise.
Wagon Mamas, because they do amazing vegan food.
That's our favourite cheat restaurant. I'd agree with that as well. If we're going out to eat or indeed going to pick up and take away, Wagon Mamas.
Do so many good vegan options. Pizza for savoury stuff. I love pasta, so if you gave me a bowl just of white pasta, I'd eat the whole thing. And then for sweet stuff, and crisps. I like crisps are my go-to snack for savoury. And then sweet stuff, donuts, clearly, from Donut Time, awesome. Ben's cookies, also awesome. And churros, I love a churro. Vegan, obviously, churros.
Everybody's currently wondering why you don't weigh 400 pounds. Okay, so basically, Wagon Mamas. I'm going to go Wagon Mamas.
It is good.
As mine. It's not that you asked, but if you're interested, Jason.
I thought you would have gone
Wagon
for a little
Mamas.
Burger King or something.
No, I tell you why, because the Wagon Mamas is better quality food and just as yummy and just as treat feeling. It feels like it feels like a cheat meal.
Yeah.
So if I can get some slightly better quality nutrition in me for the same level of fun, then Wagon Mamas. Right, Jen. Paul says, how much whining, well, that's rude for a start, Paul. How much whining did Mark need to do to have you join him in front of the camera in this adventure? I like that you called it an adventure. You redeemed yourself at the end of your sentence there, Paul. Well done.
Not too much. I was a bit concerned about being on camera, and I'd much rather being behind it for quite some time. But now, slowly getting used to it. The talking part I find the hardest because Mark comes across so scripted or non-scripted, and I feel very weird when I'm reading a script. In fact, I laugh most of the time, so I'm not allowed to do it most of the time.
You need to go and do a stand-up comedy course.
Yeah, but then I think I'd be like the guy that was on your course that's just not funny.
Yeah, it's quite amusing. There's a guy...
Or I'd come back and have to tell you what my homework is and you tell me what to say the next time I go.
Yeah, and they think, wow, this
woman's hilarious.
This set is tight. Yeah, it's quite funny. There's a guy that was on my stand-up comedy course, which I did way over 10 years ago now, 13, 14 years ago, who's still, inverted commas, on the comedy circuit, which basically translates to doing sort of... kind of flash comedy where he springs up on the tube and starts doing one-liners to people on the tube.
which really just aren't funny. You have to just see the faces of these poor passengers.
No. I took top marks for perseverance, though. He's still going with it. Okay. I was going to say something about your training. So what was the question? The question was, did I whine to get in front? Oh, I know what it was, about being in front of the camera. We have a video coming next week, which is basically us on the track. We've already filmed it. It's going to be up next week. Jen, for the first time ever, runs around the track with a GoPro. And the first time ever bit is you talk to the GoPro. You basically do a little running commentary, literally running commentary. Now, here's the good
Have you listened to that?
Here's the good news and the bad news. The GoPro wasn't turned on. Okay, so Jen failed at the first hurdle.
You set it up.
Well, yeah, indeed, but you still need to be responsible for push and record yourself. For goodness sakes. However, as you came past me, you were wearing the DJI mic, so the main camera picked you up when you were within range, and the bit you were doing was awesome. You were like really natural, and I was thinking, this is what a pity that you
didn't press record.
You didn't press record because so you are going to be hearing more of Jen on and seeing more of Jen on camera, because actually when she just kind of gets on with it.
And I have Mark in my ear.
Exactly, yeah. You need to start running and recording yourself. But yeah, you also need to learn how to push record. Okay, next question is from, well, his name is Turd. I'm going to guess.
Do you reckon you're pronouncing that right?
It's spelled Turd. So one of two things has happened. Either you've typed it into my notes here incorrectly, or
I was very certain to make sure I typed them perfectly.
Could be a comedy name. Could have created a comedy name for the purpose of joining Patreon. Could be a foreign name. Maybe it's not actually. For example, there's a video coming out tonight, Wednesday night.
Looks nothing like it's spelled.
There's a German guy, German rower, and his name is spelled W-A-R-D, Ward. But because it's German, I then went and watched a few videos where people were talking about him to make sure I was pronouncing it right. And of course, it's pronounced Vod. So, and then his surname was equally his surname. Well, I can't say Vod without saying Vod, and kind of slipping into a kind of cliche German kind of Vod. I can't say Vod. It sounds weird. So anyway, when you hear me talking about his name,
Turd might not be Turd.
No, it could be like Turd. It could be I don't know, Croatian.
Hopefully, you'll let us know how it's meant to be pronounced.
Yeah, if your name is Turd, then I apologise for calling you Turd. Anyway, what's your favourite movie training montage? Do you even have a favourite movie training montage?
Oh, probably Kung Fu Panda.
Do you know what?
Because it's based around food.
Yeah. You like a bit of Kung Fu Panda, yeah.
Or Mulan, when she's training to be a warrior. Anything Disney related, really.
I was going to say, if you're thinking these will sound like cartoons, when I met Jen had not seen a film that included live action. You'd only seen cartoons. That's my point.
They're good.
Only cartoons. So I'd say to Jen, hey, you're, whatever, a bit younger than me, so you might not have seen X, Y, Z. And the answer would always be no, because it wasn't made by Disney. So obviously not.
Or you talk about actor, I don't know, Eddie Murphy or somebody, and I'm like, what's he been in? And I'm like, Donkey.
Yeah, I'd say, hey, have you seen Raw and Delirious when we were talking about stand-up? You go, no idea what that is. Who's this guy? No idea who this is. And then you go, oh, my God, that's Donkey. That's Donkey. That's Eddie Murphy, you moron. Next question. And his kind of follow-up question is, why is it Rocky IV? But I wonder if he means why is it not Rocky IV? Let's just encompass that, both sides of that possible question, by saying, do you like Rocky IV?
Well, I feel like I have to like Rocky because I've watched it and it's referenced so many times now that I've kind of got
Rocky IV
nice...
specifically, I think we need.
That's Hearts on Fire Rocky.
That's him versus Ivan Drago.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the appeal of that whole montage. I mean,
big, tall, muscly guy.
Yeah.
What wouldn't you like?
He's a bit.
What?
Well, I think we're going back to the guy that we were talking about. Who's the guy? Chris,
right. What did Chris say?
Chris, no, the guy that you say that's how natural looks, and it's not
good
natural.
Grief. Hang on a second. Okay, we're going to deviate slightly. We might actually save this for the
Which
Friday
is a bit
podcast.
Like,
okay, yeah, we're not.
Drago.
Hang on. Stop.
What's his name? Drago.
See, you need to say it in a say it in a slightly Germanic. Drago.
Drago.
Vad.
I think that sounded more Jamaican than anything else.
A little bit. Anyway, we're going to talk about your Chris Bumstead thoughts. So
Chris
if
Bumstead,
you have
there
an
you go.
interest, I'm not sure how much interest our listeners would have in Mr. Olympia classic physique competitors.
Not
but
classic physique.
We're going to talk about Chris Bumstead in the Friday podcast, so wait for that one. But going back to what you were saying about Ivan Drago, you're saying that his body is a bit too much.
Yeah.
Which is...
Also, his Rocky, I think, is a little bit too...
do you know what? That's surprising because Ivan Drago, Dolph Lundgren, in the 80s, his body was... He's not big. Like, you compare him to guys now, he's a small guy. I mean, he's not small, but you know what I mean. He's not walking around like, I don't know, whatever, The Rock.
I understand.
It's a perfect man, let's just be honest. Right.
And his hair's very, very blonde. I mean, I know I have blonde hair, but...
He has amazing hair. I went to my barber, the Funky Barnet,
God.
many, many years ago. I'm not sure it was called the Funky Barnet. If you're now thinking, hey, the Funky Barnet at Cemetery Junction, I'm not sure it was called the
I
Funky
feel
Barnet.
like, why would they have ever changed that name? It's not like they changed it to improve the name at any point.
Yeah, but I don't think it was called the Funky
Barnet.
Barnet then. Anyway, where the Funky Barnet is now, in Cemetery Junction, Reading, yes, Cemetery Junction, as in the Ricky Gervais film, because he's from around here too. I went there to get a haircut years ago. I wanted a flat top like Ivan Drago. And the guy said he wouldn't do it. Do you know why he wouldn't do it? Motorbike. He said I'll make it look amazing. You'll put your lid on and it'll crush it. So I wasn't...
Did you also ask to dye it platinum blonde?
Didn't ask that. I would have just done that when I got home.
Okay.
So I wasn't allowed to dye my hair blonde, I was allowed to dye it blonde, but I wasn't allowed
to have the flat top.
No, I think I did dye it blonde anyway. I got a crew cut and dyed it blonde and looked like, I think I ended up looking like Eminem, but obviously about 20 years before anyone knew who Eminem was. So kind of ahead of my time, really. Right, next question is a stupid one. Tim says, I hate these questions. I don't like these.
What?
These sort of questions.
What questions?
Tim, you've let us side down. It's one of these, would you rather have lobster claws for hands or no hands at all?
Lobster claws.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like an obvious one, isn't it? I'm not quite sure what it would do for our
but also like how
quality time together.
How out of proportion are they to my arm?
Come with a health and safety warning.
How out of proportion are they to my arm? Like, how big is my claw? Would be my next question.
Yeah, I don't know. How big is your claw? I don't know. I have too many witty comebacks flying around my head to even. I mean, yeah, obviously, Tim, some form of thing on the end of your arm is better than nothing, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so.
Also, it kind of depends slightly on what's going on in society. Like, are you the only person that has lobster claws, or are there others? Because if there's others, and it's just like like a kind of a defect that others also have, you could probably get into a Facebook group with them, and you could share experiences. You could probably Instagram the hell out of that.
Make some money.
But if you're the only one,
but even as being the only one, you make some money on Instagram.
You would, but deep down, you'd always feel slightly out of the loop. Anyway, Tim, daft question, but claws. Next question is from, I don't know if it's Mr. or Mrs. because they only have an initial, but it's M, so it's from M. I'm assuming not the one that works at
007M,
CI5 or MI5 or CI5. There you go. Hey, you can laugh. There's an example of me saying something stupid. CI5. I meant the CIA or MI5.
Mix the two.
Anyway, the question is, okay, I've only paused there to read the question and just take a moment in my own mind to contemplate how stupid a question it is.
Why?
The person, M, you're an idiot. This is their question. What is it like being the best athlete in your household? What a moron. I don't know. I'll tell you what, Em, what's it like having the dumbest question on this list?
Are you trying to say that I'm not the best athlete in the house?
No. I could leave this room. You still wouldn't be the best athlete in the room.
Hey. And just to clarify, there's no dogs or anything in here.
There's probably a spider hanging out somewhere that could do more burpees than you.
To be fair, I am the best female athlete in this house.
You are the best female. Yeah, I was just having to check in my head to make sure we don't have any female dogs, but we don't. Jefferson's a bit. What would the word be nowadays? Fluid.
Fluid.
In his kind of gender.
And also what he associates himself with. Or...
Yeah, he doesn't associate as a male dog, does he?
No, normally a female cat.
He associates as a lazy female cat, yeah, which of course he's welcome to. We have no problem with how he wishes to associate.
No.
We don't have any segregated toilets for female or male pets, do we? So we don't really encounter many problems with it. So anyway, yeah, Stuart question. Okay, back to sensible questions. Matthew says, what's been the best and worst part of your fitness journey to date? And do you have any long-range goals? And he means long-range. He says, say, 10 years from now. What would 50-year-old Jen say? Do you know what? I mean, I don't even want to contemplate a 50-year-old Jen.
Clarify, in 10 years, I'm not 50. I'm only 44.
Yeah, Matthew. Way to offend a lady. Keep the content coming, you two. It's great. Again, pulled it back at the end there. These people know what they're doing, don't they?
They do.
So yeah, what's your best and worst part of your fitness journey to date?
Not being able to eat what I want.
No, agree.
Oh God, that's terrible. But I think, like you said, that comes of age. Like the older you get, just less forgiving. I mean, I to be a kid and just eat what you like. How
have they put men on the moon, if they have, and managed to invent vaccines that cure anything, if they have, but they can't invent some sort of pill, whatever, that stops you from just kind of absorbing the calories you eat? Why can't you just eat? How hard is it to invent that? There must be something you could just have a pill, have a burger, nothing gets absorbed. Somebody else that. If you work in Big Pharma, first of all, boo hiss, but secondly, get on with making that pill.
But do you not remember, I don't know how long ago, I must have been a teenager when probably 16, 17, and there was that phase of people taking pills that did that type of thing where you'd eat and you take the pill and then you'd have a very disgusting time in the toilet because it stopped your body absorbing it all and then it just come out.
I think that was train spotting.
No, it was an actual thing.
Was it? Never heard of it.
Yeah, but I don't think it obviously took off because you had such a bad time in the toilet.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
No. So bad part is...
So bad part, you can't eat.
Can't eat. Second bad part.
Okay, it was more. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Was just the time it takes to see progression in anything. It's just, oh, man.
Well, it took you 25 years.
Which means I give up.
That's the thing to remember. You took 20. People forget this. You took 25 years to get yourself into the state you're in when I met you. So to expect that you could just explode back, I mean, yeah, it's relevant, isn't it? You know, I took last year off effectively. So I took certainly from High Rocks April until Christmas. What's that? 8 months of doing nothing.
2 seconds here.
So I know, but I then get annoyed that I don't bounce back in 8 weeks.
No, but when you first met me, my results were huge. So when I first met Mark at 25, I was, okay, this is only in terms of weight, which was really the only thing that mattered to me back then and a little bit still does. I was like 9 stone 7. Don't know what that's in new money. And by the time we were going on holiday, so I met you and moved in with you. So I moved in with you in March. By October, we went on our first holiday together to Egypt. And I went down to 8 stone 3. I lost over a stone and a stone.
Yeah, to convert that, when I met you, you weighed 133, and you lost 14 pounds. So you were around 120,
18 pounds.
I should also add, and you know this,
which is
everyone
crazy
knows this. The scales, 6 months. The scales is irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
In 6 months, that's crazy amounts to lose.
Well, yes, you lost a stone of muscle because you just didn't eat anything because you thought we're about to go off on holiday. I've never had a
I was in the gym doing
that takes
weights.
Me to a foreign holiday. I've never had to diet down before. This is normal.
My point is that I was in the gym every day doing weights at that point in time.
Okay, so basically the worst part is that you can't eat what you like.
And
another worst part, yeah, indeed, yeah.
But the best parts are, as you get, well, I think this is, again, something that comes of age, is just the feeling fit and healthy. I don't think you can really... It sounds ridiculous, put a price on it kind of thing. It just, when I come out with other people that don't keep themselves fit and healthy, there's just a feeling of this is cool.
Well, that's nice because also your friends,
nice
as your
feeling.
friends are getting older, so obviously your friends are also now in their 30s. So what you're starting to see is a decline in them, but not a decline in you, and which is nice. I mean, it kind of because you moan and complain about the exercise I get you to do, but then every now and again you go and see your friends, and then when you come back from a night out with your friends, you go, do you know what?
No, I do not.
Thank you for doing what you do to me.
That
Because
does not
man
happen.
alive, you want to see them.
That does not happen. And 50-year-old Jen or 44-year-old Jen just wants to be pretty much in the same shape she is now, like to not put on weight or give up on my health and fitness in later age will be good.
Also, 50-year-old Jen's probably thinking, oh my God, my husband's 66.
I know. So he better be really looking good for 66.
Let's move on rapidly. Okay, Phil says, what is your least favourite good question, Phil. What's your least favourite High Rocks event?
Is there a favourite one when it comes to High Rocks?
Yes, the roller.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I go into every single one thinking, ugh, and then I come out the other side and think, okay, at least it's done.
Okay, well, let me rephrase the question so that you can answer it in a way that let your brain kind of comprehend it. If you could take one exercise out, okay, and put another one in. So, for example, for me, I would take out burpees, and I would put it in with another row instead. So let's do that. If you could take one out and swap it with another, what would you do?
I'd probably take out the wall balls and put it in with another farmer's carry.
There you go. Although I'm surprised you picked. Is that because the farmer's carry is just quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you hate wall balls and you like things that are over fast.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you.
Not that I'm good at the farmer's carry. I just think.
Yeah, it's just the fastest.
It just seems quite quick to get over and done with, and simple thing to do. It's not too much energy expelled.
Expelled. Are you trying to say expenditure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Oh dear. Okay, right. Okay, Andrew has asked about 15 different questions. This is like some sort of
Fire round.
Yeah, I was going to say quick fire because it's like a flipping, I don't know, some sort of Senate hearing. So yeah, you get one word for these. We'll blast through them. Ready?
Okay.
When you're exercising and your headphones die, what's your go-to music in your head?
If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
You don't have to sing it, just answer it. What's your favourite day of the week?
Ooh, don't know.
We're YouTubers. Does it matter?
Probably Sunday.
Really? If you could only have salty or sweet food, what would you have?
Salty.
Really?
Savoury other way. I'd always pick crisps over chocolate.
Okay. What's your biggest adrenaline rush you've ever had? Meeting me. You can answer yourself though.
I don't know. There's lots of things.
Really?
Yeah. Right, should I name a few?
Okay, I'll give you three. You get three.
Okay. Well, nearly dying on my motorbike in the Pyrenees. That was a bit of adrenaline rush.
Yeah, actually, I'll tell you what's nice about that is that's a good answer because that is a genuine adrenaline rush.
Yeah, if I
as
died.
opposed to like if someone is saying, I don't know, seeing my baby getting born. It's like, is that really an adrenaline rush? That's just like
for most people that probably is.
But it's not an adrenaline rush, is it? It's not kind of fight or flight. It's not like oh my, I'm alive and I need to act, and you're just looking at a gooey baby. But here, yeah, you were like nearly dead up a mountain but survived. So falling off your motorbike, number one.
Shark cage diving.
Shark cage diving, nice.
That was scary.
Yeah.
And yeah, probably really just the whole Pyrenees trip. There's quite a lot of adrenaline rushing in that.
Okay, well, this is a public service announcement. If you're someone if you've had kids, too late, can't help you. If you're contemplating,
I went into the tree on the lots of things. There's lots of things go with motorbike. This is probably why we stopped doing motorbike.
This ties in what I'm about
Jen
to say.
tried to kill herself many a time.
Right. If you're thinking, oh, I've got life ahead of me. I want to have lots of kids because that's fulfilling. Actually, Jen's high adrenaline moments that kind of spring to mind are all things that are just like life or death excitement. It's not. Oh, I saw my kid do their first tap dance lesson. I'm just in a bad kid mood today.
Clearly.
Next question. If you could be expert in one aspect of your training, what would it be?
Diet. Or is that not
That's actually, no, good answer though. Yeah, that would be. Although if you were, okay, here's my problem with that answer. You could be expert in it. I don't know that, you don't mean expert. You mean you wish you could adhere to your diet and be happy with it.
No, I wish to be an expert in it so I could figure out all the little, I don't know, cheats that you could do to get around things and still be awesome.
No,
Okay, weight training then, just to be
I think if
Mark, you don't know, I do.
I think if you're
I'll
expert in
come
your
up with the
diet,
training.
you just annoy yourself because you know what you should be doing, but you still wouldn't be able to do it.
Maybe.
Yeah, weight training would be good because weight training is
Then I can tell you what to be doing instead.
Yeah, and I'd love that. I would love that.
What would you
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah, I would. It would be amazing if you were if I could sort of rely on you for something.
Nice.
So either diet or training. Wouldn't you like to be expert in running? I mean, you're already kind of halfway there. You're just crushing the running.
Well, I just don't feel there's much to be an expert in when it comes to running. You just run.
Oh, well, so I think you're going to discover that when you start running 50k, that there is.
Okay.
And I think you're going to be pretty good at it. So we'll see. What is something exercise-wise you wish you could devote more time to that doesn't fit with your plan?
Well, I'll probably try something like boxing or something. Just something that's completely out there. Doesn't fit with my plan whatsoever.
Okay, we're going to go boxing. That's going to happen.
Or trampolining, because that just seems like it'd be fun.
His last question is trampolining.
Yeah, that just seems like it'd be fun, going wee, wee.
Yeah, I know what it is. Don't need the sound effects. Okay, well, if you run a trampolining...
But like a proper
school.
trampoline, not like the ones where you have the kids' round ones, but like an Olympic one, the rectangle ones.
The rectangle ones,
Yeah.
as opposed to the round ones you see in people's gardens
Yeah.
where the kids are bouncing over the fence. Going, hello,
Yeah, because they're
Hello.
just not the same.
hello. That's me simulating a kid bouncing. Hello,
You
bang.
know, life's got
That's
bad
me
when you
throwing a stick at their
see
head.
the trampoline next door go up and you got to think, oh God,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. A second public service announcement. You ever see your neighbour put a trampoline up in their garden? Put your house on the market. Okay. If you could put Mark in an 80s movie, what would it be?
Ooh, good question. So many.
Masters Universe?
I don't know what that is. I'd probably put him in one that I know that he'd hate just to spite him.
What?
Like a National Lampoon's film or something.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be in that film for very long. I'd quit on the first day.
I don't know. Probably like a cool one, like a Casino or something.
Well, Casino's not an 80s
I
film.
realise it's not an 80s film.
Yeah,
But something
the
that's...
mistake Andrew's made is assuming that you have any real knowledge of films.
Okay, name some. So Casino's not 80s?
No,
Like
Casino's
any,
no,
like,
no, it's
God-
not 80s, no.
The Godfather? No, those are 80s.
Well, yeah, the 70s and Godfather 3 might have squeezed in the 80s. No, what are you putting in Godfather for?
Okay, Gremlins.
Okay, I could be in Gremlins.
Because then you can bring me one back. I think they're quite cute.
Okay. I get to run around with Phoebe Cates.
Who?
Phoebe Cates. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. No, lost on you, isn't it? Okay.
E.T.
Okay.
That's 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say I get to run around with Drew Barrymore, but
She's a
obviously
kid.
she's a little bit
Kid-like.
kid-like. Yeah, for me at that point.
Ooh, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
That'd be a cool one.
Yeah, I could be in Jurassic Park. That's not 80s again.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure the Jurassic Park is
that
not
90s?
the 80s. Yeah, or 90s, yeah. The Jurassic Park might be... Yeah, anyway, we're moving on. Okay. I do like the idea of working with Jeff Goldblum, though.
I know.
Jeff,
What
if
you
you're out
like
there and you want to do some sort of project together.
It's not the right era too, but if it was the right era, I'd put you in Signs.
That's just to terrify me. Right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, Davey says, what did you do before... Good question, Davey. What did you do before YouTube? And was it an easy decision to make to move and follow Mark into it full time?
Well, firstly, there wasn't a decision because my previous job to YouTube was working with Mark in the finance sector. So
And I quit.
He quit. So I was jobless. So it was move over to YouTube or get another type of job myself.
You were a sailor on the boat that I was captain of, and I decided to jump onto another boat and at the same time launched the self-destruct sequence on the original boat. So
Yeah.
you either jumped across with me or did a bit more of that shark diving.
Yeah. So I did finance, and then before that, I did PA administration stuff before I met Mark.
Shall I summarise it in a real quick nutshell?
And then I worked for the council at some point.
Jen worked for the council, then she did some sort of PA type thing. Then she worked vaguely in relation to the industry I was in. So I poached her to work for me. Then I quit to do YouTube. So she thought, well, I might as well do that too. Here we are today.
Jury's still out if I'm going to stick with it.
Was it an easy decision? Yes, it was an easy decision, obviously.
Didn't get to make the decision. My job had.
Well, you could have. You could have gone and stacked shelves or something instead. But as it is, you sat here on a Wednesday morning talking nonsense. Here's the second part of the question: is if it wasn't for Mark, do you think you would have signed up for the 100K or anything remotely like it? No. Okay. Next.
Unless like I was working somewhere and there was a charity thing, and even then I probably wouldn't do. Like the old place that I worked in had charity things all the time, and I never signed up for any of them.
Yeah, and also if you're working somewhere and someone sticks up on the old staff bulletin board, 100K charity event, I don't think they get many sign up for that, are they?
No. I mean, I might have done if it was somewhere cool, like if it was like 100K across, I don't know, Miami or something, Jamaica, just somewhere that was a fun place to do it.
Okay, 100. Miami, I'm not so sure about.
No, I'll probably end up getting myself into trouble.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100K across Jamaica. I'm not quite sure how many times you'd zigzag across it, but I'm not sure that might not go too well.
Okay.
Yeah, there are better places to do 100K, I think, than
Alaska.
crime capitals of the world.
Although that'd be very, very cold.
Right, Joe's question is, are you planning to join Mark on any of his cycling challenges? Will there be a his and hers Zwift setup? That's an interesting question because I got you set up on the bike, got you the shoes and everything, and you just didn't like cycling, did you? Indoors?
No, I mean, I am now tempted, or we are tempted to maybe do the gravel biking or get myself a road bike. I think I'd actually rather the road bike than the gravel bike. I feel like the covering distance. But you think just get a gravel bike and just change the tyres?
I think get a gravel bike and don't even change tyres. I wouldn't change my tyres unless I'm only changing my gravel bike tyres because I'm doing that 200-mile thing. So just go out and do an hour, for
I'm
a
a
weekend.
fair weather rider, so I'd only cycle if it was summer and spring.
What I like about the gravel bike as well is I would be wary of you riding on the road. I don't mean you particularly. I just mean
You mean me particularly?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. It's terrifying riding on the roads, and it's terrifying enough to worry about me. If I had to also worry about you, it would just be extra terrifying.
I've rode on roads before.
I know. I worry about me, so
Okay.
I'm allowed to also worry about you. Gravel, I worry less because obviously less things to hit. But we need to get to the gravel, so the gravel bike is quite cool. Yeah, maybe we'll get you a gravel bike. Yeah, Specialized. Are you listening? Send us a gravel bike.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be using it that much. I need a specialised gravel bike.
Okay, we'll get you
Maybe like a
Amazon if you're listening.
Here we go. Trek or a Canyon.
They're all as expensive as each other.
Oh, I thought Specialized was like up there. I thought like Canyon and Trek were below it.
No. Specialized, Trek, Canyon, they're all going to make.
I ran out of bike makes after that, by the way. That's it.
Rally. Okay, next question.
Rally.
Oh, actually, Joe also says, what would you have done differently if you were starting again?
My fitness journey.
Yeah, I don't think you would. Yeah.
I'd probably kept up my running from when I first started at 25 because right now I'd be awesome at running.
Did you do much running at 25?
Yeah, when I met you, we did running.
Did we?
Yeah, I can remember. Yeah, because I lost my ring when we went out running.
Yeah, when you say we did running, we weren't
running.
No.
But we did some running.
Okay.
My main point is
the jogging around the block. Yeah, actually, it's a good point. If you had the jogging around the block,
continue doing a little bit more running.
Exactly. Yeah, you'd now be 10 years deep into it as opposed. Yeah, good point. Okay. James says, what's been the most challenging aspect of your fitness journey, psychologically and physically? Psychologically, first of all.
Psychologically, I'm just not very good at pushing myself.
No.
Terrible at it, whether it's the high rocks or adding some extra weight onto my weights at the gym. I'm just terrible at thinking I can do it.
I am waiting for the day, and I'm really, really excited for when it happens, when you do something physical and sporting physical, and you just kind of it clicks. And maybe it'll be boxing. And let's use boxing as an example. We stick you in the ring, and I'm just thinking, let's be funny. You're going to get punched about for YouTube, but you just go full on Ronda Rousey, and you're just kind of wailing on someone. And I think, oh my God, this is it. This is what your passion was waiting for. I would love to see you get hyped up for something. I'm not sure boxing is going to be it, but
Yeah, I need to find that.
yeah, you need to find that. Yeah,
Yeah, because you have that always wanting to win, like high rock. You just have that passion to be just doing your best. Whereas I feel I go around high rocks thinking, just get round.
Yeah, I like to. Not all the time.
Yes, but you don't normally think just get round. I'm thinking most of the time get round.
9 times out of 10, I'm happy to just get round. Well, not just get round. If I'm training, I'm happy to just plod. But yeah, if I make the effort to go if there's a start and a finish line and someone's got a clock, yeah, I'm crushing it. Okay. Physically, hardest thing physically.
I guess that's just like the boundaries of your own body, and probably
That sounded quite deep. That sounds like an Andrew Huberman podcast. The boundaries of your body.
I just meant in the sense that there's stuff that clearly your body just cannot do sometimes. And there are things I could do to help my body be able to do those things, but I have no willpower to do that either. So, like, for example, I can't squat still after 9 years.
Well, that's
but
interesting.
That's
you say the boundaries of your body.
I know.
That's the boundaries of you bothering to fix your body.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
If I bothered to stretch for the last 9 years.
We're actually talking to someone at the moment who's a stretch expert.
Stretch expert, not a flexibility expert.
I just saying a stretch expert sounds funny.
Okay.
So there could be some mobility developments happening.
Hopefully, because we are terribly rigid.
Okay. So next question. Oh, we're nearly there. Michael says, Michael asked that. Okay, so Michael asked this question, right? This is his question. What is the real, capital letters, the real reason that you decided to start your journey to improve your fitness level? And I questioned his question and said, well, isn't like kind of health and fitness and a bit of YouTube, is that not it? And he replied by saying something like, I think you should ask the question. So I have no idea what the conspiracy is that Michael thinks that at some point last year you thought, I've just run across a mountain, I'm going to get into this big style, other than be fitter, healthier, and do a bit of YouTube.
Yeah, I feel like I might let him down by not having such a great answer.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind
I did say I'd divorce you if you didn't do it. There was that, I suppose.
That, obviously. Yeah. What was the actual original question? Because you got me now so caught up on
what is the real capital letters reason that you decided to start your journey to improve your fitness level?
So on the basis of that all ties in with just keeping healthy and fit and doing exercise, I would probably say that the biggest reason at the time, and probably still now, is just staying the size I am, just not getting fat. I guess that's a very woman answer to say, but
well, yeah,
I like looking like I look.
Yeah. No.
So very vain.
Good.
Vain answer.
Yeah, well, sort of vain, but actually, is looking good and healthy vain, or is it sensible? That's like, I got my car serviced. Oh, you're so vain. No, I just want my car to run properly.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine. No, I don't think that's the same thing. I'd imagine that's the same as, I don't know, polishing your car every day.
Okay, there you go.
Washing it all the time.
I'll buy that. Okay, I'll wash and polish my car all the time because I don't want it to get chipped and damaged, because not only will it look unsightly,
scratched.
but that could end up, Jen scratched the car the other day. And chips could end up, getting rusty, and it's just I tell you what it is, it's the broken windows thing. Was it New York that did the broken windows thing where they said, if there's a broken window, we'll fix it? Because the trouble is, you have areas with broken windows, then it just becomes run down because it's just an indication that no one cares, and it just leads to a descent in standards. So they fix all the windows. That's the chip on the car. A chip on the car, you don't worry about fixing it up. Well, you might as well get 2 chips on the car. Before you know it, you might as well just let your wife drive it and scratch all the alloys. So it's that with fitness.
Yeah.
Vain.
Looking like I do, and still, even though you say it shouldn't matter, the scales.
Exactly. You are keeping the windows
I am a typical woman.
in your what's the word? Project. That's what it is. Is that the American kind of council estate kind of thing of the projects?
The projects.
Yeah. If your body is a human project and its windows are getting repaired.
It's not the ghetto. Or is that? No.
I think you should just stop.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of Elvis's song. That's what I go in my head.
I'm still think you should stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last question. Heath again. Heath has doubled up. If you could live anywhere other than the UK, where would it be? Is there a place you really want to travel to you haven't been to yet?
Oh, loads of places.
Okay, where do you want to live, first of all?
I'd like to live somewhere which is most of the time sunny.
Yeah,
I
Portugal.
don't care if it's not hot. I just want mostly sun. Which I think South Africa is pretty much always sunny, but not always hot. I realise there's pretty dangers that come with living in South Africa, though.
There's not.
You don't reckon we should move to South Africa?
No, because if we moved to South Africa, we'd have the kind of armory that Arnold had in Commando, where you kind of and you push the button and the door slides back and you go in there and you get your guns and you can go and rescue your kid.
Yeah, but would you really want to live like that? I'd like to think that you could live in South Africa, like the place where we last stayed in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you don't need to open carry around there.
No, there's no security.
Okay, so we want South African weather with
sunshine.
Our
the UK normal
UK
way of life.
Way of life. Okay.
Wherever that is to live.
Yeah.
And
if you're a South African thinking,
although I always do think maybe America.
South Africans might be thinking now, hang on a minute, yeah, that's a bit rude. It's not all you know, what was the movie we saw? District 9. It's not, you know.
With the aliens.
Yeah. But
how can you compare that to South Africa? It's got aliens in it.
Yes, but the aliens are there as a metaphor for apartheid and confrontation.
What are they called? Is it shanty towns? Is that India?
Hang on a second. Let's take 2 steps back. You want to live somewhere warm?
Yeah.
Good.
No, sunny.
Sunny. Good. Where do you want to go on holiday you've not been to yet?
Oh, so many places.
Well, give me 2.
Bali.
Because we've just gone over the hour.
I'd like to go to Bali.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere like that. And I want to do Eastern kind of places, so China, Thailand, Japan.
You're gonna have
Japan mostly.
I'm guessing wildly.
And Singapore.
I'm sure China's not just one long succession of wet markets, but you are going to have fun, I imagine, in places like that as a vegan.
I think places like Japan and that wouldn't be so bad. I imagine there's clearly bad places in all places.
I've got images of you in a restaurant like that trying to explain in some foreign language that you don't eat dead animals, and then go no problem at all, and then coming and serving you something that's still wriggling around.
See, I have more images of us being somewhere like Japan, that happening, and then never coming home because we've opened up a little rescue centre out there of all the dogs that we had to save.
I'm not sure there was enough space to rescue all the dogs that you would want to save. What was the last question? Last question. Are you ready for the last question? Okay. How did you find... Nice question as well, Connor. How did you find running together at the start, and what sort of percentage was done together and alone?
So at the very start, quite a lot of it was done together just to make me go.
All of it. When did you ever go out on your own? And also, I should add, I thoroughly enjoyed running with you. So it was a good...
Yeah, I was going to say we pretty much always went out together because otherwise I wouldn't go.
I spent 15 years running on my own. So
which is relatable to a video that's coming up now. When I first started running, I was in the completely wrong shoes. So my legs were in agony.
Yes, we did a gait analysis yesterday, which has nothing to do with finding out the best way to put an aperture into your fence. Like that. Gait analysis.
I got it, yeah.
Gait analysis, and you were in the wrong shoes originally, but we knew that anyway. It's quite nice. It's quite nice when the technology that we go and play with confirms what we thought we knew, because it kind of confirms, hey, you were right all along.
It is good.
Wrong shoes. Anyway, to answer his question, you did most of it.
So we did most of it together, and now recently we still do a nice amount together. I mean, all the events that we do, we normally run together, although this year we're doing some a bit different because I want to get really good at running at the pace I will be for my 50 and 100k, and obviously Mark's more seasoned at doing them anyway, so we'd like to try and beat some of his
I want to.
so will be going off ahead of me.
Yeah, I haven't done a 10k without you in a while. So it'd be nice just to kind of go out and blast one
And you
out.
think you're maybe doing the... Did we sign up for the Goring 50?
No, Goring Gap 50k Ultra is still possible. We're not
Still
not-
possible.
not
But if we
convinced.
do it, you're going to maybe run without me.
Maybe.
Because it's meant to
See
be
how we
the,
feel.
like, beginners, the best one you can do for a 50k, isn't it?
It's supposed to be very good.
Like every
yeah.
10 kilometres there's a station. It sounds very...
Yeah, in fact, the Goring Gap 50k
Very
is
friendly.
it's designed for people that
And
can't.
flat.
Food everywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, the only part you won't like is that there's 50k of running involved. The rest of it's probably right up your street.
Yeah.
No, we do a lot of our running, and we still. I would say we run at least half of the time together.
Yeah, although now probably not so much because I'm running 5 days a week and that's not very often
Yeah.
together.
And also we can kind of package it. So if you have a long run at the weekend that I don't need to do because it's not in my training because you're going at a slower pace, for me to come and do an hour run with you isn't particularly stressful. So
Yeah.
at the moment it quite works. I think if we were at the same level,
I was going to say it'd be interesting in a few months' time,
Yeah.
maybe when I've caught up with you on like when my 6-minute pace is an easy, whatever, 15k for me when we're both doing it
yeah,
together.
because the problem then will be if I don't have any exercise that day planned or I've already done it, I can't go out and do a fast hour with you because that's too fatiguing. But I can at the moment go and do an easy hour with you. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Although I'm going to be doing more running. Once Horrocks is out of the way, I'm going to be running anyway. So
Well, sure you should be cycling. Ready for your 200 miles of it.
yeah, let's ignore that. That is it. We are done on questions. Guys, hopefully that was useful, interesting, entertaining, all those good words. Okay, cool. That was Ask Jen Anything. Coming next in a couple of months will be either, in fact, here you go, stick this in the comments. You've got two options. Option one, ask us anything, which is going to be couples-based questions, not in a kind of like, oh, can you help me? I need advice because,
Oh, although we should do because I reckon we'd rule at that clearly.
giving couples advice?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't mean that. I mean, it's couples, like, it's a question that relates to both of us in some way.
I feel like we'd have very different opinions on how to help couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be recommending a lot of divorce.
Wow.
As a fan of divorce, that'd be my go-to. People are like, Mark, I'm not sure if you could help, but my
Divorce.
wife, divorce, yeah, immediately divorce, move on, sell your children, fast car, problem solved. Yeah, it's not that. So it's ask us anything. Or here's an idea: ask the kids anything. So if you ask someone that likes kids in a way that we don't, you might want to hear what they have to say about what we do. So we're gonna get one of the kids if it's a goer, and we're gonna stick them
Well,
in
you
front
could
of the
probably
camera.
get a couple of them. We still have 2 living with us.
I can't handle 2 of them at the same time. We'll pick one. We'll toss a coin. So yeah, there you go. There's something for the comments. Ask us anything, or ask a child anything. Okay, guys, we are done. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you on the next one.
Talk to you guys on the next one, which is not far away. Friday podcast.
Friday podcast.